usually don't take the Excels of the students. If at the end of the year, we try to wipe the Excel completely. If there's a new student coming along, give it to the new student. If it's the same student going to the next year, they take their Excel with them. We usually have the Excels being charged in our storeroom, and students are responsible for charging their own Excels. Pretty much that sums up what we do with the Excels.
So just on that, so you basically, if you don't mind me using the term, you're recycling the XOs. So after the year sixes are finished, the year ones get that XO. Is that correct?
Exactly, that's the plan. We've been using Excels for the last 2.5 years, I think. So we have never come to that stage yet with year sixes. Yes, we have recycled them, but we have never come to the stage where the kids have taken the Excel from kindergarten to year 6.
Soon.
But yes, we do recycle, yes.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Wow. So that's a pretty exciting thing when you can actually see the development of the child from start to finish having a device
That's
to
right.
pull their own, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, you've seen the program pretty much from the start at Ashcroft, isn't it?
That's right. Yes, I have.
And what do you think is the EXO giving benefit to this? Sorry, let me start again. What benefit do you think the EXO has given your students?
Okay, with the new system now, with the Android, I'm seeing a lot of benefits. In the sense, it supports our students' learning, scaffolds their learning in all key learning areas. It has improved student engagement, and it's given some sort of an independence to the student in creating their own learning intentions and going with it. It's made them more independent in completing the set task, which is really important in Ashcroft for the student engagement point of view. The different learning styles and the apps and learning through fun, play-based, and still getting the support and scaffolding that they have. And it also has helped the teachers for differentiation. So for students who are really at a high ability, they can just go and do a project-based learning. Students who are still not able to meet the outcome, learning through fun-based apps, sort of a learning. So that's the benefit. And in my class in particular, in Stage 2, I use EXO in all key learning areas. Like I said, in literacy, with the Literacy Planet, we use it for spelling words, reading, comprehension, and also watching BTN news.
BTN?
And the multimodal text, yes, from ABC Network. That's part of my reading program.
Okay.
In maths, playing the cool games, the hot maths, and looking at the different apps, especially in fractions, to give them the abstract understanding. And using the Excels for research on the science units and the easy units. So it's really helped us in different ways. Yes.
Definitely, yeah. Look, that's really exciting, actually. It's just because we've spoken to quite a few teachers, like a lot of teachers, and it's kind of like each teacher, each school, actually each class, I should say, is a unique environment. They all use the EXOs for something really, really similar, but in a totally different way. I didn't even think about listening to the news or going through news as part of your reading. So can you tell us?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Could you go through that a little bit more? Because I'm quite interested in sharing that with the rest of the One Education community.
Okay, one of the activities during guided reading, literacy session or literacy circles, like some people like to call it, is go on the BTN. That's from the ABC net, www.abc.net, and listen to what's on their current agenda. Or sometimes with the Anzac Day coming along and the centenary year, so they have to go back and listen to what does Anzac mean to them. So it's a presentation. So listen, and at the end of the lesson, there is a hard copy of the transcript.
Yes.
And teacher resources, and kids can go back and students get to answer questions as well.
Do you?
So since changing with the English syllabus, we're supposed to be teaching them, making them 21st century learners and getting them ready for multimodal text.
Yes, yes.
That's what the BTN does, and being responsible citizens. So that's one of the activities every day my students take turns to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not disturbing others because they've got their own private set of headphones,
Mm-hmm.
listen to the news, and come up with their opinion, their point of view, write, or sometimes create a poster
Yes.
based on what they've heard. Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's really, really good, actually. I mean, I'm sorry to kind of diverge, but could you show
No,
us
no, no,
on
no.
could you show us on the website because you've got presenter view at the moment. Could you show us the website for BTN and how you use it on the Exile? And while you're doing that, I'm just gonna quickly say hello to Pia. Hi Pia, how you going?
Good, good there, John. And my computer says, unfortunately, Droid VNC server has stopped.
Yes, Pia. Menaka just has to press the OK
Oh,
button on
okay,
the Exile for
okay.
that one.
I was hoping it was something like that.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
there we go.
So are you in your Exile at the moment, Menaka?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I'm trying to get BTN on.
So it's just the ABC, like the actual
ABC.
channel to ABC.
hmm Behind the news,
Yes,
BTN,
and it's
yeah.
that's right behind the news, BTN.
So Pia, your teachers use this as well.
Yeah, we do all the time, every Friday. We have for quite a few years.
Oh wow.
So I'm not sure what activities they do with it though.
Mm-mm-mm. So Menaka,
There is
I'll leave to explain what you have been doing with your students in terms of literacy on this because I'm really quite keen to. I'm recording this by the way, so which is really good. We can share this with all of the other participants from different states.
okay.
So could you talk us through what you're doing right now?
I'm just trying to connect to it,
Okay.
like I said. And like you can see on the screen, it says watch episode 26 or 24. So whatever topic you want the kids to go on and learn, where it says stories. So click on the stories, or at the top um, story keyword, you can search for
Oh,
what story you want to the kids to listen to, and it goes way back, and there's an archive of different things. So for
mm-mm-mm.
example, if I had Anzac, that's what we did not that far long ago. Okay, it's still coming on.
That's okay.
And you put up, I usually do the web address, the URL,
Mm-hmm.
copy and paste it on the smart notebook so the students know what URL they have to use.
Sure.
And then they go on the URL and start listening to it. And usually every story has an embedded video with a presenter. And then it says on to your right-hand side, different activities that goes with it. The
Mm.
Anzac tradition, if they want to see more. Right at the bottom, where you can see,
Mm-hmm.
it says teacher resources. If you
Ah,
go
it does
click on
too.
teacher resources, yeah. And sometimes they have questions the students have to answer. Sometimes what I do as well is for them to think and maybe create a poster on how
Mm-mm.
important ANZAC is, or if there is something about a bike safety or the road safety. Whatever genre of text you're trying to teach, so you try to incorporate and integrate those things with this. So it makes a fun sort of learning thing for them as well. Like it's not the monotonous writing every single time.
Yes.
The PDF. waiting for it to open up.
And this is all pre-prepared by the people who do the behind the news
Yeah, the discussion
segment.
questions, yeah. Briefly summarize the BTN story. And it's like the only pays tribute to the soldiers who fought at Gallipoli. This could be a persuasive text, true or false. Do they agree with this or do they not agree with this one? Why not? State your arguments.
Mm-mm-mm.
So it's really helpful. It takes them out of the zone and makes them think about what's happening currently in the world as well. So
So it's
there are
not
many stories. Yes.
it's not just literacy; it's also comprehension, isn't it?
Comprehension, that's right. And also talking and listening, presenting it to others as well, and putting your point of view across to other people and convincing them. That's right.
Cool, cool. Wow, man. So I guess I'm just really excited to learn. I've never ever heard about this until now. So I'm just really excited to learn what other teachers think about this. So Pia, you said that you've seen your teachers use BTN before,
Yes, yes, we do. Yes, we have it. Yeah, and they use it all the time.
and have you thought about using the EXO in this manner before?
Um, well, no, I haven't actually been listening from the beginning. I'm sorry, so I'm not sure what the um, Menaka used for creating posters. Um, did she use a different website or an app? Yeah, but they probably just do the questions and that, I imagine, whatever activities are there, and do a little discussion as well.
Okay, cool, cool. So Menaka, in terms of the XO, you basically just use the XO for like an individual portal. So each student will have an opportunity to view the news on their own time with their headphones on. Is that correct?
They, yes, they do it individually, but then again, they come back as a group and they discuss what's been happening and what they've learned and what their point of view. This is like a small group of 5 or 6 students.
Mm-hmm.
So they share their ideas and they have to say like why do they think that, or why do they agree or not agree with what's been happening. And Pia, was it?
Pia.
Yes, yes.
So they can go back and do it like a hard copy of a poster with the
Mm-hmm.
A4 or a cardboard, or they can go back and present it using Google Docs or create a poster using
What
one
was
of the
it? Google what?
Google Docs.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. All right,
Mm,
okay. All right. So they make their poster out of Google in Google Docs, do they?
that's right. Yes.
Okay. All
Cool.
right. Yeah, I'm
So,
not sure. I'm sure they do a variety of activities, but I'd actually have to ask what our lot do. But
mm-mm.
I don't think we take the agree or disagree with the opinion of the presenter angle. So yeah, as much. Yeah,
Cool.
more summarizing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And Katie, can you hear us okay? Yeah,
Yes,
sorry. So have your teachers actually used BTN in this manner before?
I'm not sure what they've done. I'm the music teacher, so
Oh, okay.
I'm only at Mackenzie's school on 1 day a week,
Ah, right. I get you now. So I guess in this
and
case you can relate to your other colleagues that you can use the exos for that as well. So
yes, I'm right. I know they use them a lot, and they keep them on their desks in the upper class, and they thought that I'd like to listen today because of the music aspect.
yes, yes, yes. So as soon as hang on, I don't know if Russell's back. Are you back, Russell?
Yeah, John, I'm back.
Ah, fantastic. So we've got an eager attendee waiting for you to
Oh,
talk about music in a little while. So
yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if my EXO will play ball online, but certainly can talk about the program.
fantastic. All right, so let's just finish off with Menaka's presentation. Could you talk to us about what you've been doing with the Google Documents and Google Classrooms, please, Menaka?
Okay, I've just put in a poster there.
Mm-hmm.
This is where one of my students had to listen to one of the BTN things on bullying and having the self-esteem build up and respect, and then she had to go and create one of the posters about how she sees herself.
Mm.
and this she had to share with the others. So this comes from Google Drive actually, where she had to share it with myself and the rest of her peers. So that's one of the things I use the Google Docs for. What I usually do is I post the assessments, or for example, the public speaking assessment and the marking criteria, or if there's anything that I found really cool with the maths school games or anything, I'll post those things on Google Drive in the classroom folder, and students get to those things, activities in their own time at home, and they complete the project. So, and then it's projected on the interactive whiteboard, and we together give the feedback, and which is always constructive, of course. And students really feel proud about this. And one advantage I have found of using Google Docs and showcasing their activities for everyone to see is it's completely changed students bringing back the assessments. So it's increased.
What do you mean? What do you
the
mean?
number of students, yes, because they're feeling much more important of what they've done, and it's showcased in the classroom where everyone gets to see it. And this is one of my students who did this one, and what she feels about herself, how she sees herself.
Fair enough. See, I didn't even think
Pretty
about
much, yeah.
I didn't even think about what impact that has on the student, you know, because all I remember is when I was quite a lot younger, I did my best not to be picked by the teachers, so you know they'll just pass me by. But I guess in this case, it just I can see where you're coming from in terms of the sense of pride that the students have. This is what
Right.
they've done for themselves and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not. We usually don't try to put them on spot, only if they want to share it. But they do share it with me. But if they want to share it with the entire classroom, that's when it gets showcased and it goes on board, and it's always positive. They need to be acknowledged most of the time.
Yes.
So which happens through this program quite easily.
Awesome, awesome. So could you take us through a sample of, say, for example, from start to finish, how does your classroom use Google Documents in Google Classrooms?
Okay, just give me a second. I'll go back to the classroom folder here, and that's what it looks like. And the stream is where they can ask me questions. So this is one of the students. Like, unfortunately, I can't block out their names. I finished my speech and I think it is good. So, or if they want to ask me questions, I'm not able to finish this one. Can you help me? Or I post all my assessments down here, what I want them to finish. And also at the top here, I found one attachment about length, which has cool maths games. So they go and they work it out. The websites that I found. So that's what I do. And if I can get a work sample that one of my students has done, that would be fantastic as well. And they share it back to me, saying like, this is what I've done, Mrs. M, what do you think? It's similar to what high school students usually do. They get that support if they want that support. Oh, it's taking forever.
It's not that bad.
I know, technology. Wonderful. No, it's not that bad. You're right, it's not that bad. Share it with me. Uh-oh.
So while Menaka is actually getting this organized, guys, what I wanted to do is actually talk to you about One Education's campaign. So Menaka, I'll let you get that up and running for a little bit. I'll steal presenter for a little bit. Hang on a second. Okay, so on Facebook, guys, we've got this promotion called Vote for One Education. And the reason we're doing that is because we are in the running for a $50,000 grant from Microsoft. You know how those things are. People are asking you on Facebook to vote or something like that. This is important because with us, we actually are in the running to receive as much as $50,000 uh, from Microsoft. And all you need to do is go to the One Education page, highlight this. I'm just going to get my little highlighter thingy-mabobby. The one that says, I hashtag vote for One Education to win hashtag upgrade your world AU. And all you need to do is just copy that, put it in the comments area and press enter. And it's as good as gold. That's it. That's it. So the way that the boss
Is that
says
if you,
is, sorry, good.
so is that if you go through Facebook, is it? You have to
Facebook
go
or
through
Twitter?
Facebook
Correct, correct.
or Twitter? Okay.
So all you need to do is just post that, or we should be making a post of this one on the One Education website, just to encourage people to go to vote for us. The whole thing about it is Microsoft is trying to increase awareness about upgrading your world, technological upgrades. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason we're gunning for that money is because we're
Mm-hmm.
developing the One Education Infinity. You guys have heard about the Infinity device?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, and it's
Yeah.
really exciting. We've, if you guys can see the amount of boxes here with parts, well, we're trying to get one prototype up and running, and we just want to make sure we've got enough funds to make sure that happens. So yeah, so please vote when you can.
Mm-hmm. Can the children vote?
Yes, if they've got a Twitter account, all we need to do, or if they can persuade their parents, because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know, you can't, you need to be 11,
Yeah.
sorry, 13 and above to get a Facebook account.
Okay. I see. But they can vote if they can get in via their parents. Okay.
That's correct. All they need to do is just highlight this bit here, the one I vote for One Education, and put it on the
Okay.
comments tab and enter. That's as simple as
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you can vote once a day, every day. And so far, this has been going for 2 days, and we've had 66 shares and 75 votes. The more people that vote, the better it's going to be for us guys. So yeah, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Okay.
So, all right, folks,
Mm-hmm.
that's about it. I will push it back to Menaka. Are you good to receive presenter rights?
Yes.
Where's your
Um,
name? There you go. I've put you as presenter. And shout out to Kelly Wilson. Welcome.
Hi.
How you going?
Good thing.
I haven't talked to you in a while, mate. All right. So Menaka, so you were about to show us one of the examples of your students' work in Google Docs.
Yes, I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen. Yes, this is we were reading the book Fox by Margaret Wild, and this is a student's perception of the different characters. So these are some of the things that they do on Google Docs, writing a story maybe, or creating slides, show, or doing a storybook or a storyboard. Those are some of the activities they share with the rest of the class, or just to me, having the rights to share with the rest of them. So that's what we do with the Google Docs.
Nice, nice, awesome. And what challenges have you found since using Google Docs?
Right. Google Docs, unfortunately with the Android, it's really hard to get the photos put on using the Excel. There's not much of an opportunity for that. I'm not sure if it's changed now, but most of the time the students do get an idea about it, and then they go back and create it using the drawings and color it up. But if they
Yes.
want to import a picture, cut and paste, they usually use a PC. But per se, like I haven't found it really that hard with the Google Docs. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect, and most of my students enjoy and know how to use it.
Fantastic. Can I make a comment regarding that? Because I know how frustrating it could be, especially um, coming from a creative child's mind. They just want to do what they have there, isn't it?
That's right.
Let me, if you go back to, okay, do us a favor, and you see on your XO, you've got the home button. If you press the home button and also
Yep.
press, so once you press the home button, go to the big red W.
Yep.
So that is, have you guys been using this before?
Many times, yes. We
Okay.
usually use this one and we upload it to Google Docs as well.
Perfect. Yep. Because if you've got issues with cutting and pasting photographs, the simplest solution is to actually get your photographs inputted onto a document using WPS Office and upload that document onto Google Docs, because you can save it as a DOC file, as a doc file. You can seamlessly transfer between the two. It's a bit of work, but the students find,
Yeah.
well, what I find is the students are pretty okay with that. But you can then do the transposition of the photographs onto the documents. I don't know why Google Docs hasn't included the paste function for tablets yet, which is a bit, frankly, frustrating.
Yeah, yeah, but we found our solution, like I said, like the W thing.
Yeah,
We use the PowerPoint, and from here we usually upload it onto Google Docs. So we
perfect.
use Excel in all facets of the thing. We usually come across a problem and we try to solve it together with the kids. Sometimes the students know more than I, so yeah.
Oh man! And what I've learned as well, hosting this series of webinars, is it's not all about what the teacher knows, but how the teacher guides the students, isn't it?
That's true. That is so true.
Awesome. All right. So, any final comments from you before I open the floor for questions?
No, I'm happy to take the questions.
All right, teachers, thank you so much for your participation, Menaka. So, teachers, what we've basically just shown here is one way for your students to submit their work, and for you to, I guess, have access to the work your students have done without bringing tons and tons of paper back home. So, by just uploading it to Google Drive. In New South Wales, I believe all of your email addresses are Google accounts, and we've tackled that on a previous webinar. I can run through that again in another time, or if you want, I can talk to you guys separately on it and show you how you can do that. But basically, it's a method for you to be more efficient using your XOs, using Google Classrooms and Google Drive, and of course the documents there. So any questions for Menaka? Anything specific towards the XOs in general, or any questions you'd like to ask about management or anything like that? The floor is open, folks. Go ahead.
I'm okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hi. So,
Go ahead,
hi.
Kelly.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yep. I work with XOs, but I'm also doing a Google Classroom trial at my school. But I'm actually using our computer lab for the Google Classroom trial, not the XOs.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if you've tried to collaborate on a document or a slide using the XOs, and I was wondering how fast it is, or if it lags.
I haven't found any issues in my room. It does not lag, but I've heard teachers in the same school complaining about how slow the XO is and it lags. So personally, we use only the XOs to create the documents and upload it to Google Docs. It's all done through XOs. I've stopped going to the computer lab because it's too much of a transition, waste of time. So it's pretty easy for me to use it. I haven't found any difficulties with that in my room especially.
Okay, but do you have the children typing into the document together?
Yes.
Like collaborating on one document?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you.
No worries. You're welcome.
Awesome. Any other questions, folks? All good, Pia?
Yeah, all good for the moment. Yeah.
Russell, any questions for our other special guest?
No.
Thank you, sir. Alrighty. Well, the floor is yours. So I'd like to introduce Russell Riley, and he's from the sunny shores of WA. Well, I lie. I have no idea whereabouts in WA.
Have you checked Google Maps today?
Sorry, Russ.
Force 10 gale with about 20 mils.
You're joking. Oh
That's
man.
Melbourne weather, isn't it?
It's Sydney weather a few months ago, mate. Oh wait.
Usually sunny every other day. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, wait a minute. I've just got a question here from Natalie. Sorry, Natalie. I just noticed that little question mark there. She goes, I have not used Google Docs before. How do I set it up for my class? Natalie, if you could private message me your school, I'll be able to visit you guys before close of term and help you get set up.
Oh, so can I ask a question?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pia.
Yeah. Can't we just, is it Google Drive or Google Classrooms that teacher was talking about?
I think both.
Yes, I usually set it up with the classroom. That's where all your class students, followers, and other things go in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you try to share your assessments and important announcements that you have for your students. Drive is the place where they actually post their documents, so it's connected. If you go to the classroom and try to access the Drive, you get it. It's interrelated. Yeah.
All right, and we can set up Google Classrooms and Drive ourselves, can't we?
Yes, easy, pretty easy, especially if you're in NSW, easy.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the next thing we need to do. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, Russell, you said that you don't have. Sorry, guys. So, before we close off on Menaka's segment, are there any other questions regarding Google Drive or Google Classrooms? None? Oh, good. Okay. So, I'll just quickly introduce Mr. Riley. So, Russell, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself, what school you're with, and how many XOs you guys are using?
Yeah, sure. We're in sunny WA for most of the year. We have about 550 XOs in our primary school from pre-primary right through to year 6. We started implementing them prior to the Android system, and we started to roll it out to Android a few months ago. And we have a few teething problems, but that's all part of the learning, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And how long have you been with the same school?
I beg your pardon?
How long have you been in Yale?
Oh, the machine's about 2 years.
Okay, so since basically
At the end of this year.
And it's basically you guys have been there since the sugar operating system.
That's it. And when we swapped over to Android, we had a few programs that we couldn't run. We got quite attached to some of the sugar operating apps,
Programs.
I suppose.
And
when we swapped over, we're still looking for some substitutes. Under the old system, we were able to roll out some of our programs like Reading Eggs and Word Shark and Number Shark and all those sorts of things, which were used fairly widely by the staff, and now we're sort of educating them on new methods.
Awesome. By the way, Reading Eggs should be back online. I can give you guys the phone number for the gentleman who's looking after the technical support for the XOs and Reading Eggs. We gave them an XO Duo a few months ago, and so they're actually coding Reading Eggs with respect to the XO. So it should be a lot better soon. So I'll actually email you now. So the next question we have is, could you just explain to us what benefits you've seen with the students once they've started using the laptops? Because it's been there for a couple of years now.
Yeah, well, they're definitely engaged, especially with our year 3s when it comes to early intervention with illiteracy. We had a scenario where we had a fairly major problem here where the students wouldn't go to recess and lunch because they wanted to stay in and continue working on them. So
what a problem. What a problem.
It was. The story is went from a quarter of a page to about that they could look up alternative words, and they discovered that you could look at a thesaurus from a different perspective electronically.
Oh wow. Well, that's really exciting, actually. So yeah. Hang on a second.
Our older students will go out and use. Sorry, John, you want to stop?
It's just sorry, I just got a really bad lag spike, and you started to sound a bit different there. So, okay, I think the
That must be the flu from yesterday.
oh no, I think it's the internet trying to catch up.
Yeah, I won't talk about NBN and how we're going to go from 59 to 100th in the world. I won't mention that.
Oh no.
The old
So,
federal government, if they spend as much time rolling it out as they did blaming each other, we'd be almost there probably.
oh jeez, don't get me started. They took off our funding, and now they're making us crawl through gravel to get more funding so we can provide laptops for all of you guys. So anyway, that's a different story and a totally different webinar.
Welcome to the process schools have.
Okay, so tell us
That's
about,
the
and I mean, I'm just really excited.
Right, so you want to look at Caustic today, did you?
Let's not talk about that now.
Someone cut out, they must have heard you.
I'm really excited to hear that it's the student engagement that seems to be a common thread with using the XOs. What makes student engagement so important?
Well, out of anything, innovation comes from replication and doing things over and over again, and then you sort of figure out what's a better way to do it. And I think by the precise dedication to sort of try and get the thing in front of you, it sort of takes the idea like the online gamers, they keep going until they get to the next level.
That's right. Yeah.
That seems to be the sort of application the kids have applied when they're doing their learning via the EXO.
Awesome. And speaking of repetition, would you be able to tell us a little bit more about your musical background?
Yeah. How far back do you want to go?
We only have another 20 minutes in the podcast. So.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah. All right. Well, I played in bands over years. No one would have heard of anyone that I was in, but that's okay. Probably one person I was with was 4 years with Johnny Diesel Injectors. I played keyboards with them when they were called Innocent Bystanders in Perth. Then from there I played in a variety of music opportunities, whether it be the old weddings or on the train. Playing on we have the Hoffman Valley over here, to the police. I worked with them for a bit, and then I branched out into other areas, judging in music festivals, and then back into playing again. I ran some large worship teams over for some of the churches and made lots of musical backings for them and sent them off when they didn't have musicians.
Nice.
And I do music backings for kids and singers.
And what were you trying to?
So if it makes sound, I like it.
And you said you were trying to get something happening with the XOs as well. Could you share a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, with the program Caustic, we started getting the kids working individually. So we might say, right, okay, Bruce, you've got Bigbox, and Stephen, you've got bassline, and Simon, I want you to try ProSynth, and we'll give you the same rules that both have and have. You can do in the key of G and make it a pentatonic perhaps for a start, and then off they go, and we give them a tempo as a rough idea. They go away and do their bits and pieces and then come back, and then they had to collaborate to modify their musical ideas so that they fitted with the group. And that was, the same way as you might go away and write your story and then come back and discuss it with someone else from a different perspective, and then you had to come to some form of agreement. So I used that approach when they were working in music. Started with 2 or 3, and then I extended it out to about 7.
Oh.
And that was interesting.
Cool. Now, just for people who are not familiar, I'm quickly flipping through. Can you guys see my EXO on your screens, AK?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the actual program is called Caustic. If you're online, I'm just going to quickly do this. It's on App Universe. So I'm going to tap App Universe. I've actually downloaded it and started playing. I had a pretty cool techno beat happening. My boss told me to put my earphones on because it's just doofing the house down. So yeah, okay. So it should be under available, but because I've downloaded it, the icon looks like this. like that. Caustic music recreation tool. Guys,
There it is.
just a bit of a side. When you download Caustic to your XO, there's a program we've created that automatically upgrades the license. So even though you download it and it says demo downloading or demo extracting, it's actually a full version. So I've managed to, I'm still trying to learn how to do it, but I've managed to save as a WAV file, and I've managed to have a small beat. I can't play it to you guys over the internet, unfortunately, but we'll try to create with Russell's help. We'll try to create a
Copyrighted it
simple beat.
already. Oh my goodness.
Oh, come on, man! Of course. With your help, Russ, let's run through a quick sample of this,
Okay.
and then we can scaffold it to, I guess, to elaborate how this is going to benefit the student. So I'm now on Caustic. I'm running it right now. What's the first step you tell the students?
Well, the first thing is that they don't have things too loud. If you're going to play music, you've got to play it at the right volume, and it mustn't be too loud. The world's best recorder players are the ones that play softly, and it's the same with the computer. Otherwise, they have a tendency to whack up the volume of the headphones. So we look at volume first, and that's our lesson in safety, and then from there we go to looking at how we might create a beat. So I might be sitting there with, say, can you dial up the Beatbox screen?
Sure, not a problem.
From the bottom right-hand side. So you get in the bottom multi-track there, and see in the bottom left on your
Beatbox?
screen. Just tap. Yep. So just get a Beatbox up there.
Okay, let me just put the volume up. So for you
top
guys
left.
who don't know where the volume is, you've got the press the F12 and F11 buttons on your XR. So up left, I've got 808. So what do you want me to do?
So you can hit your play button, see if there's a pattern in there already. Down the bottom, next to you.
Yep, hang on. This is the one I was playing with. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah. I can't help it, mate. I can't help it. I'm a geek through and through. So okay, so there's a beat already pre-existing. So what do we do?
Right, now you've got the play buttons down the bottom. See how the volumes and the play buttons down there? So if you click on those, they'll probably sound the bass line, or you can actually tap on the screen where it says 808 BD, 808 snare, SM. Right.
Okay, yeah, so let's say I'm going to put the decay.
So I'll tap on my two here on my screen.
We heard that really, really well. Could you do that again?
So I'm just hitting it with my fingers on the screen.
Oh.
Now, of course, your metronome down where it's the bottom where it says the pattern is your best friend when you're setting it up. Because like with all good things, if the foundations aren't right, then your house is going to fall down later on. So you must have it in sync and in time. So that little pattern button to the right, see the little metronome at the bottom? Looks like a triangle, or somebody's built a pyramid with a little stick sticking out of it. So click on that, and that'll give you tempo. And you can set your tempo, or you can go up to the top where you've got your settings.
The gears, is that? Hang on, I'm just going to use my little highlighter.
The gears at the top come down to the bottom line where you've got on the left-hand side. You've got like a little 1, 2, 3, 4,
Here?
5. No, go left.
This one?
Right. So that's your grid. Click on that. Just click on that. That'll show people the multi-track area. So
yes.
Click on that.
Yep.
That's it. So then you've got beatbox, bassline, organ, and all the rest.
Yes.
So that divides it up. Further on down, you've got the effects where your red line is.
Sorry.
And then you've got your master effects underneath there. And your sequencer is where you can take a section of a tune that you've played and you can move it around and shift it from one place to the other. Whoops. That's it. And then you've got the mixer sections, the first 7 channels, 1 to 7, 8 to 14, which is off to your left down the bottom. Yep. And the effects, you can assign that to individual channels. So you have 2 effects in each channel that you can put on a bass or an organ, and you have a master effect as well when you're wanting to put it right over the whole mix. One of the latest synths they introduced was the KS synths. Each of these have multiple sounds in them. So when you open them, you can scroll through their menu and you can choose the sounds that you want. So you can spend, you know, an hour or two just looking at one synth and then editing your sounds that you want, or else you could put your notes in and go back and then try it with different sounds.
Oh my gosh, that is insanely complicated from the sounds of it. But
effectively, it's like having a huge rack in front of you. Imagine a computer rack.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
the R42 racks. So this is a bunch of racks dedicated to sound creation.
So
And on the left hand, so yeah, you click on these. This is, oops, where's it gone?
sorry.
No, don't read the menu.
I just actually created a brand new one, so we've got a good place to start. So
Fresh. All right. Okay. So let's go to number 1 on the top right hand side and click on that.
And then I've got a whole bunch of choices from subsynth, beatbox.
Yep. So let's start with the drums. Okay, there's your beatbox over the top right.
This one?
Click on that. Yep.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Yep. Okay, so then we've got that loaded in as number 1, and we also want to click on that again.
Click on beatbox.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's now led us to the beatbox screen.
Yeah, so it leads you to the screen. Then you can choose the type of drum kit that you're going to use for it.
I was using the 808. I was pretty happy with that.
Yep. Bad Cat's quite a nice one. That's the one I've been using with the kids this week. So if you click on that top left-hand screen, it'll probably do a pop-down. Yeah, Bad Cat's down there. See in the middle? Just up above Brush Cat. So load that one down the bottom right.
I've got Bad Cat.
Now try... Yeah. So just try tapping that out. See your little play buttons down the bottom. Just try clicking on those.
Hang on. Let me put the volume up.
Okay, the bass has got a bit of echo on it in that one, I think, for memory.
Yeah. It's actually quite good. Man.
And you can also import WAV files. So when you've finished a project, you can actually put it back in. And that's quite handy. Some of the other professional apps that the professional musos use, they'll do pre-recording and then they'll drop that in. I guess the best example would be, think of the days people used to do samples of other people's songs and then put them in their own songs.
They mash it up, basically.
Jack and Diane and so on. Yeah, mash it up, sort of. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Nice.
So there's your drum page set up, ready to go.
So just to answer Kelly's question, she...
And if you hit, see the top there, John?
Yes,
see
sir.
where the 2 cogs are at the top?
Yep, these ones.
Go to the right of that where you've got the 4 lines. Click on that. Yeah, go to the next one, to the right, and click on it. No, not, that's it. Yeah, that one. Click on it. And the little page will come up in the, like little line pads. There we are. Now try tapping on those and that'll give you the drum sounds. Here's an example, you know.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's the way that the child can actually integrate with the screen. And of course, if you hit the bottom down there for the metronome, you can keep it in time, and that's the most important thing at this stage. But it can be changed later through the step editor.
So the metronome just gives...
So this was designed in mind for...
Sorry, Russell. So the metronome, it's just that little tick, tick. Can you speed it up or something like that?
Yeah, little tick thing, little clock. Yeah, you can edit it, yeah.
That's cool. Now, just to answer a question, Kelly was asking, can you upload or share your composition?
Yeah, you can. Save it as a WAV file and email it to someone if you want to, or you can save it as a WAV file and drop it on a thumb drive and the kids swap it from one machine to the other. So yeah, you can. And you can save it as a WAV file and then put it into whatever you want, you know, back into the program. So you can do that through maybe something like the Beatbox one, that's a drum sampling one, and probably the vocoder one too, because that's sort of like a sampling one too. All right, so that's your basic starting point.
Yep.
Right, can we go back now to the bottom left-hand side? Yep. Okay, so you got the Beatbox, come across to number 2.
Yes.
click in, and we'll go hunting for a bass perhaps. This is, right, so let's just grab the bass line. Yep.
Yep, we're now in the bass line.
Okay, so you've clicked it, it'll come up. Did you click on the bass line again, open the screen?
Yep, it should be open now.
All right, now if you go to select preset where it says at the top, press on that, that'll give you some different bass sounds to choose from.
Dry growl.
So just try that.
Dry throat, okay.
Yeah, that's me after a night out. That's it. Yeah. So see, there's plenty in the sound palette that'll, you can find something that might suit. It's usually better to pick the sound before you do the tune because the way your sound plays depends on how you play it, if you know what I mean. So you can play one sort of in one way, but when you edit the sound, it can cut out or it can do something else unusual. So just pick something that suits, you go for it.
I'll put default. How's that?
Default? Don't pick default.
That
Anything
is
but default.
So, it just sounds silly.
That's another name for your fault.
There you go, guitar lead.
Pick something like booties or, I don't know.
Okay. Hang on. There you go, booties. There you go.
There's booties here.
Yours sounds so.
So then and then you just punch in your notes. Now, what happens when you press play? If you have a drum track already recorded, then you play along in time to the bass and drums. And if you're really keen, you can edit the sound as well and then save it as a new one. But there's that many presets in there. You'd only do it on a rainy day. That's today in Perth.
Wow. So you can basically spend a good hour getting lost just mucking around with these with just two channels. We've just discovered two channels.
Yeah, I could probably disappear for a couple of weeks with this. Very easily. Now on the if you jump back into the bottom left-hand side where it's got the multi-bit, takes you to the multi-page. See the bottom under Legacy Guide. So then you got that. Then you got your mixer. So punch up the mixer.
Yes.
Now you can edit the volume and all that sort of thing on the page when you've got Beatbox up. But I go here later, and then you might want to pan it. So you might want to have your drums slightly to the left, or you might do two drum tracks and have one left, one right. Your bass line as well. You can have your reverb and delay and your highs and mids. I'd recommend that you did this under headphones. Don't do it under the speakers in the units because you just get better response out of it. All right?
Cool.
Okay, so on the left-hand side, see how it's got the grid in the black line? Can you slide that down and see if it moves?
Yep.
This is so just go across the screen where you've got the multi-track to the left of the word Beatbox on the bottom left.
Yes,
yeah, there
one.
you go. So, right. So that just shows you an overview of what you've got. Right. The other thing, if you go into the page underneath Follow on the right-hand side, those four lines, click on that. That'll take you to Song Options MIDI section.
And this is the tempo for the metronome that we were talking about before.
Yeah. So there you go. So you're going to plus or minus your tempo. See on options, you've got some things you can change there. So click on the next tab across the top there, options.
Yep, just wait a second. Yep, it should be up.
Okay. There we go. Right, so there's a couple of things in there you might want to fiddle around. Sound of the new notes. The latency is one. Some people like to have it low, but you get a bit of lag when you put it in. You can sort of predict when it's going to come in because ours are 1.6 processors, so they're not too bad, but under big load they do struggle. And you can decide what happens at the end of the song. Keep playing, loop to the beginning. So if the kid does a short tune and they want to do it 2 or 3 times, you can loop it, and that just makes it much longer, obviously. You can adjust your keyboard side, etc. Go across to MIDI, the next one, John.
Yes. No, exactly what is this?
All right. Okay, MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface.
Oh.
All right, that's a fancy name. Back in 1989, they brought out this thing that looked like a 5-pin plug, and it came out of the back of your keyboard, and then goes into a MIDI interface. Now, most of the MIDI keyboards have USB in them now.
Oh.
So, say for example, I'll use a camera adapter from for an iPad or an iPhone, and I'll plug a MIDI keyboard, which is my musical keyboard. So instead of having just a few notes on the screen of the tablet, I can have a full-size keyboard sending all the information in. So on the side of your EXO, underneath the headphone socket, there's your USB slot for your things. So what I do is I plug my keyboard, music keyboard, directly in to that, right? And then I use it that way.
Wow. So, Katie, just a throwback. Have you used the EXO for music or played around with the musical applications we have available for the Android device?
I used it a little bit last year, but it all looked very different. Has there been an upgrade?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's version 3.12 now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there was a sort of a round circle home screen, and there was some. Oh, there was like a little piano that we used and some sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids made, they wrote their own, just very basic, they wrote a 2-bar piece of music and had to play it on the EXO and record it, and then they were supposed to put it into their, they did like a claymation video thing, and they were supposed to put the music to match it.
That's a big task.
Cool.
Yeah, they got to various stages where, you know, some of them got it finished, but I don't know whether they got the music put together with it. But some of them didn't even get the claymation stuff done, so it was a long-term project, and I didn't really see the finished product because I'm only there 1 day a week.
Yeah. Now, John,
yeah,
up the
good to
top
tie
where
it all
it's
in
got
together.
Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
see up the top where it's got the help, just go across to the arrow and hit the arrow button on the left, on the top of the right-hand screen.
Yep. Gets us back to the main
That'll
screen.
take you back. Yeah, it'll take you back to the mixer.
So, Katie, what I'll do,
Right,
sorry, Russ, Katie, what I'll do, I'll email you the details of the upgrade and what's happened in the last few months and a bit, and and we can have a chat outside of the webinar about how we can help you get back on track in terms of what we've been doing. So let me put that all together for you. That way you get my details as well if you do need to have a bit of assistance or anything like that, okay?
Okay, thank you. I had a look. I think the teacher upgraded it yesterday, and there's nothing in the app universe. So obviously I need to download this app.
Yes. So I'll have a chat with you separately, so we can. I'll talk to you tomorrow, and if you could respond back with the best contact number for you, and we can play around when you're next over at. Oh, good Lord, I forgot the name of the school.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. I know it was a Mac something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just pop
And
up,
thank
it's not McDonald's.
Thank
Yes.
you, Russell. I'm going to have to go. Sorry, it's soccer training tonight, so I'm going to have to go. But thank you for sharing your ideas.
No problem. We just started to scratch the surface.
Yeah, well, maybe I can go in. It's being recorded, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. It'll be on the YouTube video, which I will email everybody.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll watch the end of it that I've missed.
Not a problem. All right, mate. Be safe. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Cool. So now, Russ, what we've got here is it says patterns. Is that the right screen that we want to be in?
Go down to the bottom left-hand side. And hit the button once again, so it takes you back to the multi one. See underneath follow. So go down the bottom of follow.
We're now onto the selection screen for the channels.
Now, we've got, go across to effects. Let's just check out effects and have a look there. All right. Now you can assign an effect two effects to each one.
Oh, wow.
So on the left, see how you got Beatbox? So you click on that, and I can add an effect, and the multi-page will come up. So your distortion, 8-bit crusher, and all those. So you choose an effect. So if you were using a drum, you'd probably be thinking, all right, well, maybe I'll use the compressor, or I might perhaps use a bit of reverb, and you can put those on as well. Or you could do it at the master stage. So then you can try each one of these is a clock. 0 is like almost 6, and full is round to almost back again round to the bottom.
Yep, yep.
Most electronic equipment is designed to work at its peak between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah?
So that's where you get the most of your out. So if you're using audio stuff, somewhere between 10 and 2 is usually where you get your best response. You'll get some weird stuff when you fiddle around. Your bass drum will disappear if you have it up too far and so on. So you need to know a little bit about effects. The effects that you usually can get into the least amount of drama with is probably chorus, flanger, delay, reverb. If
So
you
we-
start using others, you need to experiment a bit.
Mhm.
And you
So
could use a preset one.
So this is how those big names are getting all of those Grammy Award winning songs, eh?
Well, possibly. Possibly. Some people get there by hard work. Some people get there by working other people hard. All right, so you got that?
Yes, yes.
Now, once you've chosen those two, you go back with your back arrow on the top right-hand side there, so hit that. So you can assign 2 per channel, so to speak, right? Your bass line, yeah. And then you can just play it back and decide whether you like it. Too much, not enough, etc. Right. So next one we go to is our master page. So
Back
let's
onto
go
the selection.
back onto the bottom section there, select this page, and then go to
Master.
master. Right. So once master comes up, you've got, for example, reverb and delay, and you can decide on how much effects you put on the whole mix. That means all the instruments collectively together. All right, so that's that there. And let's go back again to that menu page from the bottom left-hand side.
Yep, yep.
So take the back arrow from there. Okay. Now, one of the others is the sequencer. So let's just punch up the sequencer page, bottom left, right-hand side.
Sure.
Excuse me while I just cough up a lung.
No, go ahead.
That's better. Now, in this one here, you actually are working, if you have data in there, see where it says Beatbox on the top in light grey?
Yes.
So if you have recorded something, you can click and drag it to somewhere else, right? So if you've recorded a sound in there, you'll go, all right, I might want to move it from the beginning of the song to later on, right?
Can you actually delete selections there as well?
Yeah. So you've got all, none, lasso, you can drag it and move it from one spot to another. In time, you can expand it out a little bit. So if you didn't quite play it right, you can actually fix that there. One of the other things is you've got a step edit function, I noticed. So
whereabouts can I
you
find
can
step
actually
edit?
step edit, you look for the piano section there. I wish I could click on your screen.
The one
It would be so much easier.
The one that says baseline, or?
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. If you haven't got data in there, you won't have anything to edit. But once you've got data in there, it has the piano thing, and where you've got Beatbox, if you go across there horizontally, across that top line, you can actually drag it across. You can move it, so you could grab across the lasso and then grab it and shift it. You've also got the function where in the sequencer section, I'm pretty sure, you can cut and add individual notes. So if you made a mistake, you can actually fix it. All right?
That's what I wanted to learn. Awesome. So that's a sequencer. It's like an overview, basically.
Yeah, it's like an overview here.
Nice.
And that's the section you go to when you want to say, oh, look, I didn't want it to sound like that. I wanted it to sound, for example, I might want it to sound like this. Oh, I made a mistake in the bottom, so I wanted it to sound really like this. Otherwise, I'll expect that someone from Tom Cruise Brigade will come out and sue me for stealing their song, So that's how you edit them, and you can take out one note at a time or a bunch of them. You tap on them a couple of times, and they'll highlight. 3 times it'll disappear. So it's a multi-function where you tap on the same note. I want it, I don't want it disappeared.
There you go.
Right.
Cool. Well,
very useful.
we're actually running quite a bit of really low on time. The next webinar is going to start in about 20 minutes, but we might cut it here for the moment. I can't wait to talk to you again in a few minutes so we can run through this and just show the guys. Is it possible for us to stay online, and I'll chat with you about mirroring your XO to your device so you can show everybody what you're doing?
Good luck. My XO is going off at every 5 minutes, and the charges are down there in the school. But I know the program enough, so I can just pretty much, chat it through if we get there.
Sure, not a problem. All right, so folks, we'll cut it here for the moment. Thank you so much for participating. Just wanted to say a very, very heartfelt thank you to Menaka and to Russell. Thank you for your time, you two.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for participating, guys. Yeah, and Natalie, and for Kelly, and there was another person, Reagan, but they had to leave, and Katie from Queensland. Thank you so much, guys. I'll leave you to it. Have a great afternoon, and we shall. If you want to join us, we'll have another webinar in about at 5:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great afternoon.
Bye.
What do they call
Bye.
Eastern Standard Time? We call it West Australian Luxury Time.
Ah.
Over here.
It's a nice little adaptation.
Oh man! All right.
Well, getting a hard time from Eastern Status.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's gonna be a bit more difficult.
All my relatives over there.
We're bullies, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, where do all the wise men come from?
The West.
They come from the east. No, they come from the east.
Oh yeah.
Where do they
go?
go?
That's it.
That's why they're wise. They know.
All
On
right.
that note, have a good afternoon.
All right, guys.
Okay, bye.
Talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.